Hello everyone. Today is Friday. It is the day after I stopped my last little farm walk through, and the last thing I showed you I was putting in a few flower beds. There was some summer bulbs and some snapdragons in my new field. Well, after I turned the camera off before it started raining, I decided to extend our ditch line. I mean, it's still a little superficial. It still needs to be graded, but I just wanted to get it in a little better. But you can see, and see some of this stuff, I don't know if it's just where I was walking yesterday because I was sinking in mud as I was digging it. I know I need to get this graded. Well, this part's a little drier than I'm walking through than it was last time. See, like right there, that definitely needs to be graded down this way more. But the good news is it seems to be draining more than it was. I mean, whenever I did this yesterday, I knew it wasn't completed. I knew the grade wasn't right. I knew that there'd be places where water would still sit. So we need to get it flowing down. But it's very reassuring to me that it's headed this way. Looks like it stops about there. There's some that's gathering there. Let's see. Yeah, so we just need to... I'll walk the whole thing. Show you some of the spring growth while I'm here. That looks like it's probably a tulip. It might not be, but I did plant tulips there. Some tulips and daffodils. So, yeah, I'm just going to walk all the way to the end here and show you exactly where this ditch line will go eventually, and all the water will run this way. This was the original gully that was put in, so it's always kind of been a creek line, but it's a little less obvious now because of the way it's been graded. So we're going to get it to run down that way. Alright, I guess since we're up here, we'll go check my little snapdragons. My beds, wow, they're just standing right up, looking all pretty. Let's see. There's really not too much it's going to be showing on these beds right now because, well, it's March. They're not growing yet. My roses. One of these is a Lagerfeld, and one of them is Charisma. They are just bare root roses that I got from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree doesn't have roses. They're just bare root roses that I got from Walmart. One's like a pale silvery purple, and one's like a bicolored. It looks like orange and yellow and maybe a slight bit of red. And this is a mini rose I bought. They had these out at Walmart around Valentine's Day, and this one's a red and white one, kind of like candy cane. And I got it on clearance, so paid $1 or $2 for it, and it's doing well. There's really not anything to see here. Let's go here. I don't think I showed you this little area. Oh, it's a bit muddy. I don't think I showed you this little area whenever I was showing off my beds, but like, let me go to show you for reference. So those are the beds I just built, and like I said, I don't know if those boards will stay there. They were literally just to give us an idea of our working boundaries. But right here in this little patch, you can kind of see we planted some of those tree lilies that are supposed to get giant. I think there's a group of like 16 there. So, yeah. Basically, this is where we're starting. All our other beds will kind of develop in and around these as they start to grow in, as I start to put more things in the ground. Once again, that up there is going to be where our high tunnel is. That over there is just more planting area, but I do want to show you something kind of exciting. At least it's exciting to me. I mean, if anyone's ever been in this position before, I'm seeing little specks of what I want to show you, but I want to get to where there's a lot and it's obvious, which would be up here on this hillside. I think this is my crimson clover coming up. I seeded this. I think I planted 10 pounds of crimson clover cover crop. Most of it honestly went on this hillside to help reinforce it. I did get some spread up on the top there where the high tunnel's going, but not as heavily. I don't know if any of that's sprouting. I didn't think to look, but I saw that it was sprouting down here yesterday or the day before, and it made me happy. So anyone who's ever been in that position, if you know, you know. I'm going to end this part right here, and I will pick it up whenever I'm doing something interesting. So the plan for today is to get these onion sets that I ordered in the ground. So actually I probably should just go ahead and grab those so I don't have to walk. Let's go get the wheelbarrow. Yes, I know that's not what they're actually called. Actually, I don't even need that. What I need is the shovel. We'll go ahead and take the shovel. I'll take this pan to carry my sets in. Alright. Do. Yes, fine, I know. Okay. Multitasking with the camera in your hand. It can be done, I guess. Alright. Maybe. That might be too flimsy. Hold on. Actually, I'll just stick them in my pocket. They'll fit there better. So that was all for nothing, which I did need that shovel. I'm going to have to come back down. I just want to get my stuff. Okay, I still want to take this pan so I can set my onions in them once I get up there, so they don't just get lost on the ground. Alright. Let's go this way. Alright. I'm going to have to get a bucket up here too to harvest some of these stones. Look at these stones. I need to harvest these to use in beds around my house. Oh, give me a second, I'm winded. Okay. Let's put the onion sets out of my pocket. Back in there. Okay, I want to take these big old, I don't know, 4x4s or 6x6s? Yeah, these big old boards. Okay, before we got this excavated, we had them set up across here. And this is going to be my current tomatoes bed. Yes, I'm breathing heavy. That is still the plan. To put those back in place. Is this a big old root that can be moved? Yeah. To put it back in place for my current tomatoes. And then once that's in place, somewhere in this area is where I'm going to put my onions. So I'm going to get started on that, and I'll come back on when I have something to update you with. Alright, I got my boards in place. This is where my current tomatoes will go when it's time. It's not perfectly straight. And I'm not filling with anything. I'm still planting in ground. I will plant them in the ground, compost, mulch, and call it a day. So I'm thinking my onions I'll either put over in this area, or I think probably better. Yes, I realize that's not straight. That doesn't bother me. The boards are not perfectly cut. That's just the way they came. And that's the way I'm using them. But I'm thinking of, let me walk down this way. I'm thinking of a patch there beside my tomato bed. And I may define it with some wood too. I might do this whole little area in here. We'll see how much it takes up. I'll probably start beside my tomato beds and expand whichever direction it needs to. And then either define it with some boards or put some mulch around it or something to say, hey, here's some onions. Maybe the compost, who knows. Alright, I will come back with the next step. Hey guys, so yesterday I was supposed to get my onions planted, and as you can see, they are not planted. What I did is I came over here to this part of my field and I was looking for my hoe because I thought that this is where I left it, and started working more on my ditch line. Alright. Started working more on my ditch line, and it will be a process. Sorry about the wind. I'm trying to let it stop blowing before I talk. I'll maybe cut those little clips out if it's appropriate to do so. But you can see it's standing a bit. But it's flowing further than it was. And it's not quite puddling up the same way that it was. The key now is to... See, yesterday, before I worked on it, the water was stopping about here. And there was this bigger puddle here. You can see it's starting to dry up some. And there was a bigger puddle there, and it's starting to dry up some. There's still, the water still needs to flow more. But, it stopped about right there, and I got it going, you know, pretty decent amount. So it looks like it's stopping about here and getting muddy. So I'm needing to get it flowing all the way down this way. But honestly, I think that that's going to be for another day. I've got it flowing to where it's not puddling up quite so much. It's not hurting any of my... We have nothing up here right now, so it's not hurting any of it. So we'll work on that later. I guess we'll come and check out my little snaps, because it got down in the 20s last night. Doing fine. That one's looking a little bendy, but I'm sure it will stand right back up. Alright, so let's walk back over here. And actually, yeah, let's just walk back over here. And I will set you guys down. Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat. Just this time of year. This slope right here, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to cover this slope in dahlias. Who knows? Depends on how many I get planted. Alright, I'm just walking back this way. Over here is where we are putting the onions. And I'm going to actually get those in the ground. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go grab that hoe so I can kind of fluff the ground back up, harvest some stone out of the ground because I need to get the stone out, and then transport some compost. Okay, Onyx is laying on my onions, as dogs do. I've got 286 planted. Let me turn so the wind. And I'm going to stop for the day because it's getting rather chilly and I think it's going to rain. So I will pick this up tomorrow or the next day and come fix the ones that they've messed up and mulch around it. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, so this is the second day of working on my onions. And I've been trying to beat the weather. I don't know if you can see, but those are rain clouds all over, really. So, been trying to beat the rain. But this is what approximately 436 onions look like planted on a slope. I know this is making it choppy. Trying to get the upshot here. Alright. So, that's the beginning of that. I did mulch over it because we are on a slope and because it has been excavated. There is no vegetation to keep anything from washing away. So, I dug it out, put my compost down, planted my onions, and went in and mulched around each individual onion separately. So that way there'd be plenty of room and the mulch wouldn't impede them, but it'll also keep, like I said, any of my compost from washing away, hopefully. I usually don't have that problem, but this is newly excavated and we are expecting rain. I hope it doesn't wash away. They're, buried in the ground. But you don't bury onions very deep. I've never had that problem before, but like I said, it hasn't been newly excavated to where there's no vegetation to help hold things in place. So that's the idea, and to suppress weeds. So that's the idea behind going ahead and mulching around them to suppress weeds and to just add organic material back into the soil, because eventually, that sawdust will break down and become part of the earth. Alright. Day 2, 436 onions planted. So my dogs keep trampling my bed here, so I think we're going to take some of these sticks we have and try some wattle fencing. So I guess this is officially the before. I want to walk up here and show you what's going on with our onion bed. It's pretty much done. I do need to fill it in a little bit and probably stand a few onions back up. But we're walking up on it. And we put this fencing up to just kind of deter the dogs. Actually, with the exception of a couple, most of them are still standing up. Now, we know this isn't going to keep them out completely, but it will be a deterrent. They'll at least have to step up over it instead of just being able to run right through it. I don't know if I showed any of the rest of this until I look at my video clips, so I'm just going to go ahead and show a couple of the other things I've done. Whenever I was building this bed, my wheelbarrow fell over and we spilled compost, so I just kind of outlined this. It is a little bit closer to this edge than I would like, but I'll be removing these boards once that grows in a bit. But I seeded some poppies in there. The last several years I haven't had any luck with poppies, so we'll see how that works out. There's a few weeds that need to be gotten. That's still going to be for my currant tomatoes. Lou's going for a walk with me. Dog's in the background. I just use one of those. Let's see. Well, it's not in frame. I used one of those cardboard rings I have and kind of filled it with compost and used it to seed some Iceland poppies here. So far, nothing. I've been trying to come out and water them a couple of times a day, but it's only been like 2 or 3 days, so I'm not expecting much. And this one just has some of those amazing gray poppies seeded. Some were seeded in the fall. I did come and sprinkle a few more on here. There's a seedling of some sort. I'm not sure if it's a poppy yet because it has no true leaves. Okay, I'm going to walk back this way and just give you another view of my onion bed. I just wanted to show you kind of how this little area is coming along. I know things are rough, but we're starting kind of from scratch again. Alright, that's what it looks like going down this way. We'll have a little pathway here. And see, this is what happens with puppies. Nothing sprouted yet, so I'm not too worried about it. Sorry if that was too windy. I'm going to have to try to work on that. I'm going to end this little clip here and move on to the next thing. Some of my jugs are getting sprouts. I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's definitely green. That's some giant straw flower. Those are onions. I'm not seeing anything in that one. Alright, some of them are getting sprouts, and it looks like some of them are still just normal. Just had to get a shot of the daffodils. First flush, look how pretty. Alright, that's all.